Welcome to the Doomsday Report. Now, I have the distinct pleasure on this week's episode of being joined by the legend himself, Ricky Fleming of Moshville Times. How's it going, Ricky?
Thanks very much, Esteban. Nice to meet you. Meet you at last.
Now, what I want to do on this episode is talk about the Moshville Times WinterFest coming up at Ivory Blacks. I believe that is on the 10th.
10th of December, 4 weeks today. I can't believe it. Time's just flown in. Absolutely unbelievable.
Now, how long has this gig been in the works for?
It was in the summer. It was myself and Mark Shelley, or Shell's and Moshville Times. It's just one of these things that always happens. You have a beer and you just get ideas and things escalate and escalate.
Yeah.
And it was just one of those nights, just over a Teams call, and we just started chatting, and then we thought we could put bands on. So we contacted Iron Maiden to see if they were interested. We're still to hear back from them right enough. But yeah, we just wanted to just see bands that we both liked, local UK bands, the underground scene, and just see if we can get this started. And it's been great. So it's probably the last 4 months. I think it was about June time.
Right, that's awesome. Now it's a fully stacked bill, and what I want to go do is go over the lineup a bit.
Sure.
You know, the first band I noticed is ASHEN or Acrid?
That's a very good question, and one I would like answered myself.
You know, I've heard of the band, but I'd never actually listened to them. I was listening to them earlier on, and they've got it's kind of a punky sound, I'd say.
Yeah.
With a brass section.
That's absolutely amazing, isn't it? It's a bit of like ska madness with a wee bit of punk in it. They've played Wildfire a couple of years ago as well, when Moshville Times had a stage at Wildfire. So when we asked them, they were just saying yes straight away. I think they just saw the message and they instantly replied.
Yeah.
So very much looking forward to seeing that. They're also going to be releasing a new single very, very soon as well, so it'll be interesting to see, because I think they've had a wee change in the lineup, so it'll be interesting to see how they're going to be, but they're very excited to play.
So how long have like Acrid or ASHEN or whatever they're called been around for? Because I'll say with me doing this, I'm learning about bands all the time, and this is another one that's still relatively new to me.
They are relatively new to me as well, because I cater more for the extreme metal side of things. So I never got to see them when they played the Wildfire, for example, but I have looked them up on YouTube, for example, and they just look just a party-time band. That's one thing that I noticed. They look like they know how to have a good time. Exactly.
You know, when playing.
And I think it'll just be an excellent opening band, so I'd encourage everybody to come down and see the first band, because you'll probably get your ass moving on the dance floor, you know.
Awesome. Now, what time are doors and what time does the first band start?
Doors open at 5:30. First band, AC Red, are on at 6 o'clock.
Awesome. And that's at Ivory Blacks. Right, now, the next band following up, is it the Head of the Traitor or is it a Ritual Spirit?
It's a Ritual Spirit. They are, well, you're very well aware of them. They're an excellent hard rock band based in Edinburgh. I mean, like I say, I cater for like extreme metal. I shouldn't like this band, but I really do. I've interviewed all in the guys a couple of times as well, reviewed their singles as well, and I just can't stop liking them. So looking forward to seeing them play.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, they're like a hard rock band that want metal to the masses. You know, they went to Bloodstock.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean, it says a lot about them if like a hard rock band can win like a heavy metal competition.
Yeah.
To go to the biggest metal festival in Britain.
Exactly.
You know, it says a lot about the band.
Yeah.
Now, what I want to do in this episode is, as we're talking about these bands, we'll have a little bit of music from the bands playing in the background. You know, now another band I want to talk about, after this gentleman has parked up, is a band that I've seen a couple of times at this year's Metal to the Masses, and that's the Head of the Traitor.
Yes.
Now they're a young band who's been making a lot of noise on the Glasgow scene like this whole year. Now, how long was it before you decided that they was a band that you was wanting on the lineup?
I basically followed them from the beginning, and there's a wee pun there with the name of their debut EP at the beginning. They first caught my eye when I saw the videos on Slam Worldwide, and I went up, Scottish deathcore band, I'll take a wee listen to this, and I liked them, instantly I liked them, and because of what I've been doing with Ricky from Moshville Times, Dan the vocalist got in contact with me, began an interview and interviewed them, and I've just followed them ever since. I've seen them numerous times live, and especially Dan and his vocals, they're becoming a great band.
See what I do like about it? See, during the Metal to Masses process,
Yeah.
he had these capsules.
Yeah.
I don't know, there's some sort of fake blood or something, but it's like
That's right.
a dark blue.
Yeah.
You know, and it just added to the effect, you know, and it gave them that, I think it was that little bit extra performance.
Yeah.
You know, and it gave them that little edge during the rounds.
I saw them supporting Bill Virginia a couple of months ago at the G2, and that's exactly what he done. He just turned around and then he came back and had it all down him. I went, that's my boy, you know. Again, it's deathcore, which I don't listen to a lot of deathcore, but I believe these guys have got something. They've been signed to Total Deathcore in America. They're getting a lot of recognition over there. That happened a couple of months ago, yeah. So
I hope they land some good support slots though. You know,
one of the things I like to do is look at bands' Facebook pages and their likes, and theirs has been growing quite steadily. So fair play to them. So again, I'm looking forward to.
They've only been around like a year or two now.
Yeah, absolutely. They've just had 2 singles and 1 EP, so they're quick songwriters, and they're great guys to boot. So they're really approachable guys. As is all the bands, really approachable to talk to. I thought band members would have like egos and stuff like that before. If you talk to them about music, they'll talk to you all day.
That's the one thing I've noticed about it. Everybody is so approachable.
Yeah.
You know, some are more approachable than others, you know, but you get that in all walks of life, you know what I mean? So, the next band you have on the lineup is Footprints
in the Custard. Yes.
Now they're kind of what you would call party metal.
Exactly.
Can you describe party metal? Because it's something that's relatively new to me as well. It's like, is it just a case that look like you're having a good time while listening to metal?
They just they don't take the music business serious. Well, they do. They just want to have fun while they play their music.
They enjoy
just bounce around a lot, and just they have song titles like I'm aware that there's a small child there, so I don't want to say don't be a cunt. This is one of their songs.
That's a beep.
Yes. But Russ, they're all band members are just mental, and they just like to jump around. And Ian, the editor of Moshville Times, he's having them stay at his house for this gig. So I pity the neighbours. I feel sorry for the neighbours. He'll probably have an asbo, and he's in. And he's
it's going to be a good gig.
Exactly. So I mean, they're kind of. I don't know if they're like more melodic or something like that, but they're not really like. They're no sounds like that. It's just Russ has got a rough.
So would you say the last piece of the one thing, final death metal band?
No, I think a lot of it's to do with the message that they convey in their songs and their lyrics. But yeah, just down-tuned guitars, the growls, exactly, the growls.
I'm not going to lie, I try and sing every day, right? I'm working on my vocals because I figured if Ozzy can still do it, then then I've got a chance of just using the voice. You know, and a voice is an instrument, so the more you use it, the better you'll get. Exactly. I still stop. Now, see, Footprints in the Custard. I noticed on their Facebook page they like to their gig promos. They like to have like kind of a wrestling thing, you know, with their posters. You know, set up like a SummerSlam. You know, this band versus this band.
Yeah.
Is that something that you see a lot within bands like this?
Absolutely, possibly, yeah, definitely. I think one of the things you're guaranteed with is Ross the vocalist will get in amongst the crowd. He will not stay on stage. He'll get in amongst it all. He'll start the picks and everything like that.
Big into the crowd interaction.
I love that. I remember a festival down in Manchester. I saw Josh from God Eater. He saw the crowd moving, but he was like, nah, I want more. So he just got in amongst the crowd and started the pits. That is excellent, and that's what people remember, and that's what Footprints in the Custard are like. I guarantee you, once you've seen Footprints, you'll remember them after the gig.
Yeah, because time. I've heard about them on Facebook. I've seen like the page getting shared and kicking about the place and whatnot, but I've never actually seen them yet, so I'm looking forward to this.
It's going to be excellent.
And now the next band who's coming up is ASHEN.
Right.
Now, see, I watched their performance from Bloodstock last year, I think it was. Now they got a lot of movement in that
They do.
crowd.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't know an awful lot about ASHEN Crown.
Yeah.
So could you tell me a bit about them?
They've just got the one album out. I think they've had a couple of singles before that, but they've only had the one album. I know that in the very near future they're going to be recording again. I think they've got most of the songs written, if they're not all written. But it's just groove-laden death metal. I mean, I like groove. I mean, blast beats are good when they're done at the appropriate time. I don't like 4 minutes of solid blast beats, you know, and 30 minutes of an album with solid blast beats can get boring. But ASHEN Crown bring groove as well. So while you have your blast beats, you'll also have the groove, you'll be moshing away, you'll be in the pits.
See, that's a big aspect for me personally, is the groove factor.
Yeah.
See, the one thing that a lot of the bands I listen to have in common is they've all got groove.
Yeah.
You know, there'll be Hable for one. There's a lot of groove in Hable. See, there's even a lot of groove in some like Nocturnal Wolf songs.
Yeah.
You know, and
Good lads.
I'm just sort of like, with the groove you could dance.
Exactly.
You know, I mean, bands that are good enough to make a fat cripple dance, they're good bands.
I'm getting a wee bit too old now to dance. I might just stand at the back and just, like, you know, impress me. But
Oh no, I give it the full wally, you know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, I'm really looking forward to this event. It's been...
the ASHEN Crown are the most out there death metal band in the world. So I might be a wee bit of a personal taste thrown in for that night. But Kieran's part of the team. He's done a lot of the visual side of things. He created the flyers and the posters and things. So
well, let us see the flyers you got on you.
Yeah. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. There you go. All right. Thank you.
And now the headline band of the night.
Yes.
Now I don't need to give any
Who
big
are they again?
intro.
Who are they? Oh, yeah, that's right.
That's it, exactly. They need no introduction. Dog tired. Now these guys, what can I say? They're some of the nicest guys
Absolutely.
in heavy metal in Scotland. They really are. They always, you know, they always humour me. You know, they always give me the time of the day when I want to do my.
I never said they were funny. I never said they were funny.
You know, but how long did you have to wait before you got a reply from them before you approached them?
Same night.
It was straight away, yeah.
I approached them to be a headliner and I got an answer within the same night because I was going to say a relationship with Keith and Luke. I caught onto them quite late. I think they've released 4 albums. Was it 4 albums, I think? And I really caught onto them on the 3rd. And then it was Electric Abyss.
That was a
Brilliant album. And I've interviewed them a couple of times, saw them down in Manchester at the festival. They weren't even playing, but ended up spending the night with them 4 o'clock in the morning. I had to go up at night to interview bands the following day. I was red-eyed. But a great bunch of lads, and their music is just, that's groove, that's heaviness. They know how to write a tune.
They're one of the most professional bands in Scotland. I would definitely say that. You know, a lot of the bands in Scotland haven't hit that level of fame that they all want, but they are one of the top bands in the country.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know?
And what I like about them is they're independent as well. They're not signed to anybody, so they don't put any pressure on themselves. They release music when they want to release music, and they gig all over. And they're getting bigger gigs. So if there's a band that deserves more recognition,
I mean, they've played Bloodstock a couple of times, haven't they?
Yeah.
They played, well, it was at the New Blood originally, and then the Sophie Soap.
Could be, but I know that they definitely have played it, and that's the kind of recognition that band deserves. But yeah, they're quite funny as well. Like when I interviewed Luke, and when you see him on their music videos and stuff like that, you think he's a 6'6" monster. But Keith, I wouldn't mess with Keith at all. He's like Bjorn Ironside from the Vikings and stuff like that, you know. But see, when you talk to him about music and everything like that, they should have a beer with you and stuff like that. They've yet to buy a round, right enough. But no, good guys.
Now, do you have a favourite song off of that Electric Abyss album? Because it is bloody good. I've listened to it a lot of times.
Yeah, it's actually been a wee while since I listened to it, to be honest with you.
See, for me personally, I like to go with either Flesh Church or Dagoth's 9. You know, but Flesh Church. Mind you, you still got Beast, which was off of the follow-up album, wasn't it?
Correct.
Or was that a single? Or was it off an EP? I can't remember now.
I can't remember either now.
Because I remember saying on Facebook and on the radio show, "Feast is a beast." You know, that was my little joke, you know, for introducing the song.
Yeah. But these guys, they're great videos as well. They always do good videos. They seem like low budget, but they're professionally done, professionally edited and things like that. So, I was absolutely gobsmacked that they said yes, but I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that I've interviewed these bands before, so they know who I was. They know that obviously these bands are taking a punt because Moshville Times have never done anything like this before, but this could be the start of something. It will definitely be the start of a regular festival, and hopefully, not hopefully, we will do it right. We'll look after the bands, and these bands will then say to other bands, look, Moshville Times will look after you, Ricky of Moshville Times, Shells of Moshville Times, and everybody else will look after you, and it will hopefully lead to bigger and better things. But if I break even with this gig, then I have a lot of plans in my head.
Because that's what I was saying to you off camera. If you can get towards, you know, breaking even with pre-sales, and anything after that is a bonus because of on-the-door sales.
Yeah.
You know, so with this being like a winter thing, is it going to be a winter festival every single year, or are Moshville Times planning on doing something earlier on in the year as well, maybe like a summer festival?
We did actually think of doing a summer one in England. We are looking around Oxford at the moment. I can't say too much about it. But yeah,
it's near where I'm down that way.
Are you?
Well, Newmarket and Aylesbury, I lived in them two places, and
no, exactly where you are with Aylesbury.
Oxford is kind of like in between the two places.
Yeah. So we are looking at things festival-wise, but I might put on more 2-3 band bills, you know. Yeah. So if I don't get my fingers burnt.
Well, I mean, how long has Moshville Times been around now?
Oh, for goodness sake. That's a question for Ian, but I think I've been with Moshville Times now for about 7 years. Right. I get sacked every year.
You get sacked every year?
If I put in an image the wrong size or something like that, I just get a private message saying sacked. So
you're fired!
So shout out to Ian Purdy. I mean, this guy has just helped me. I mean, I wouldn't be doing any of this stuff if it wasn't for him, and the same for Shells. We kind of push each other all the time.
So was it him that started Moshville, that Ian Purdy? Was it him that started the whole thing up originally?
Yeah.
And he's from like away down south?
He's from Newcastle, but he's now living in Glasgow. So yeah, he's been up here for a good number of years now, and Moshville Times has just grown and grown and grown. So we've got Ian in the team, we've got Ross in the team, we've got Sean in the team, we've got Kieran in the team, we've got Shells in the team, we've got a couple of other people as well that are helping out with marketing. So hopefully all these ingredients will make this a success, and just everybody will have a good night. We should make this everybody's Christmas night out. Bring your friggin' work colleagues if you want, you know.
Christmas night out, Moshville Times, Ivory Blacks, December the 10th. Be there or be. You know, so I mean, ever since I've been active on the scene, I've been active on the scene in Glasgow since about 2017. Yeah. Something like that. And ever since I've been like either playing gigs or attending gigs, Moshville Times has always been a name that has been like synonymous with like underground music. Yeah. You know, so I see it as a pleasure that I've even got you like on the Doomsday report, and that we're able to talk about the inaugural WinterFest.
Thank you very much. You nearly made me cry there, big man.
Oh, bring it in. You know, I'm just a big soft to your heart.
No, I do appreciate this. I was, as I said to you, I mean, I passed the Will on the way up here. I walked up Sauchiehall Street because I was prepping for this. I was like, he's not giving me any questions. I don't know what he's going to ask me. He's going to throw curveballs in here. But it's been an absolute pleasure doing this. I mean, pleasure meeting you guys and talking to you.
I mean, see, the one thing that I do like to do when I'm interviewing bands is, don't worry, I won't do it to you. You're safe. You're safe. You know, one thing I do like to catch bands on the spot.
Yes,
you know,
absolutely.
Right at the end of the interview, and something like tell people why they should come to your gigs, you know, why they should buy your merch, and they're like, it's just to see the fear in their eyes in the camera, just to see how ready they are for it. You know, it's like a deer getting caught in the headlights. Some of them react incredibly well to it, and some of them are like, you know, and sometimes I'll need to jump in. Yeah. You know, but I just do it for a laugh. You know, I mean, I'm I'm not nothing special, you know. I just like chatting with bands, getting to know them, you know, and having a good time.
I mean, COVID obviously affected everybody, and it made me. I have to give a shout out to my mate Joe Wilson. He put me in touch with a life coach who was doing sessions online, and one of them was overcoming fear.
Yeah.
Because I never thought it was good enough. Why would a band want to speak to a numpty from East Coast Ride, you know? And he then told me to do a video of myself, so I done it, put it online, and I just asked bands, is there anybody out there that would want to do an interview? And I'll never forget Jim Hedra, and I'll never forget Steve Saunders.
See, Jim Hedra, he's a good guy. He's a really good guy. I mean, they're actually from like East Anglia.
That's right.
I mean, I'm born in Newmarket, born and raised in Newmarket, and that's like in East Anglia. So I've got a kind of a fondness to like my East Anglian brothers.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And that's how I'll introduce Hedra on the radio show of like my East Anglian brothers.
Yeah. They're a good guy, and like I said, I'll never forget them because before I knew it, I had a 45-minute interview with them. And then I realised I'm only talking for 5 minutes. I'm only asking questions. It's you guys that have got the hard part in selling yourselves.
Yeah.
And now I've just got a YouTube channel, and I think it's about 170 odd interviews that I've done. I just love doing this. But this was uncomfortable before I met you, you know, because I'm the interviewer, I'm not the interviewee. But it's been a joy doing this.
I mean, I mentioned this to the band Crow that I interviewed a few weeks back. See, whenever I'm interviewing a band, I can like do my prep and get all my questions ready. Yeah. But see, when I'm interviewing on camera, it's like subconsciously my mind's like the fucking camera's watching me. Do you know what I mean? And that's when the brain farts will come in, and I'll be like, Do you know what I mean? Like I'm a little boy that's been caught with his hands in the sweetie jar.
Oh, there's been times where I've messed up the names of singles. You know, I think I said to. Edinburgh band, and I've forgotten the friggin' name.
And that's how I do it.
Of Stock and... No, see, I've done it again. Of Rock and Stone. Right. The song is called... But I kept on saying Of Stock and Roan. And I just... You know, it just happens when you're live. It just shows that you're human, you know. And if I get people to laugh at me, I don't have a problem with that, because I will laugh at them back. You know, so... all good.
Right, now see, when it comes to recording your radio show,
yes.
What is your technique, let's say? Do you pre-prep, write up a script, or is everything flowing naturally off your...
I usually find that on a Thursday night, Jack Daniels is a very good friend.
See, I know Dr. Jack, you know, quite well. I had to fall out with him though.
Yeah.
You know, not speak to him ever again.
Yeah. It takes up a lot of the time, but I mean, Moshville radio is just growing and growing, and we hope it continues to grow. But yeah, it's time consuming. We get a lot of music sent to Moshville radio. We obviously get a lot of music sent to Moshville Times. Yeah. So between that and then getting it ready for the radio show, I pretty much do it live. Sometimes I don't. It's an exclusive for me, well, it's an exclusive for the listeners as well, so you just have to be pretty much on the ball all the time. I mean, I can't say that guitar riff sounds as if it's in like a B minor or something like that, you know. I'll just say the guitar just twists and turns, you know, the riff, you know.
See what my thing is, it sounds awesome. Oh, that's awesome. Oh, that is awesome. How many times can I say awesome in one bloody show? Do you know what I mean? It's like I've got a serious lack of vocabulary.
So I love doing it. I just sit in my wee man cave in my house with my PC and my microphone, and I just talk nonsense for 3 hours. And it's...
So is your show pre-recorded, yeah?
No, do it live.
Is it actually live?
Do it live, and then it's recorded onto Mixcloud after that. Yeah. So people can download the show on Mixcloud. I think it's like 5 minutes later it's on Mixcloud, and you can listen to it while you go for a jog and stuff like that, you know. And I've been #1 in the charts, ladies and gentlemen.
That's decent, that's really good.
#1 for death metal, #1 for black metal, and for 1 week I was #1 for student radio, so I got the youth vote 1 week.
That is hell of a good. I remember that being posted on Facebook a while back that he was #1. I was like, hey, got you!
Couldn't believe it, but again, 18 months ago I would have laughed at you if you'd said you're going to be doing this. I would think, nah, no way. it's great fun.
I mean, what's the hardest bit about doing your radio show live?
Obviously, because as you know as well as I do, it's unpaid. You have to do your day job, Monday to Friday 9 to 5 job, so the time it takes to download the music, see the metadata, bands, get your fucking metadata sorted.
Listen to them.
People think it's just pressing play on your player and that's it. There's not. There's a lot of background stuff behind it, and it is time consuming. And there's I've done the odd thing. I've said a brilliant piece on live and everything like that, and then you realise that your microphone's off, and you go,
well.
But you make all these mistakes, you know, and that's part of the show. I mean, I take the mick at myself on the show. That's all I want to do. I just want to keep it light-hearted.
Do you ever find yourself getting tongue-tied and knowing what you want to say, but your mouth won't correlate with your brain?
I'm usually okay with that. What gets me is song titles. There was a band that I'm sure they formed deliberately to fuck me up because they had 35 words in the song title, and it was all like transformation of the manifestation and all that kind of nonsense, you know.
Wow.
So it was like, you guys done that deliberately.
Wow.
But yeah, I get tongue-tied all the time, and I take mick at myself on it, you know. I say that, why did these bands do this to me? You know, I should have chose a band, I should have chose a song that I can pronounce, you know. But it's just part of the fun.
Yeah,
it's just all light-hearted. Well, if it was paid, then obviously it's professional, but I mean, there's a couple of swear words as well. I encourage people to have a beer and just sit back, relax, and listen to 3 hours of extreme metal, because it's not easy, and it's not easy playing it 3 hours. But I thoroughly enjoy it.
Oh, that's decent. I mean, I only do like my radio show for an hour a fortnight, and like I'll generally prep for 2 or 3 days, you know, get it recorded before it gets edited and like sent across to the station. But see, during the whole recording process, you know, if I haven't got a script there, I'm like literally, as I say, tripping over my tongue. I'm like saying something about blowing raspberries into my microphone, and then like having to go back and delete it all and say it all again. And see, for a 1 hour show, it takes remarkably longer than, you know, it's the zooming in and taking out all the background noise and all the clicks and the pops, you know, doing as much as I possibly can before sending it across to my editors for final edit.
That's it. Yeah.
You know, and I mean, I got that ADD. I don't concentrate, you know, all that well. So, you know, when I'm in like that zone in work mode, you know, I have to get it done. Yeah. Sort of thing. Otherwise, it'll just not get done altogether.
Just like you say again about getting tongue-tied, I end up just laughing in the microphone, you know. I just laugh, and people have commented on it, you know. I get private messages, just laughing at you and stuff like that.
I heard you laughing on the show again today.
I get it, you know, and I don't care. It's just part of the show, and it's fun. So,
wow.
So maybe with Moshville WinterFest, this will be the next stage in my can't say really career, but the next thing that I would like to get into. I mean, I'm obviously aware of like Hamilton Hunter and Craig Law and everybody else that play. I mean, Glasgow's just a thriving city for gigs. Sometimes you've got 3, 4, 5 gigs on the same night, so it's been tough.
That's what I've actually found is hard when you're competing with so many promoters. Yeah. You know, you're wishing them all the very best. You're wanting them all to succeed. But secretly, you don't want them to succeed on
just
your
like
night.
that night alone.
You know, and I found that it's mental. It's like you can support everybody, but on that night when you're putting on a gig, it's like that's the only gig in the city that matters.
Yeah, exactly.
And sometimes I feel selfish thinking that, but thinking about it that way, every promoter must be the same.
So, yeah.
You know,
as I said, you can have so many gigs on the same night, but I think, touch wood, we've been fortunate that there's nothing on Saturday the 10th, so we've got that free. So if people want to spend £12.50 on 6 quality bands, they know exactly who to go. Ivory.
That's a hell of a deal. That's a deal. It's a steal. It's a sale of the fucking century. You know, but I mean, I'm really looking forward to this. I mean, is there any of them bands that you've not seen?
I haven't seen ASHEN Crown. mainly because they're Birmingham based, you know. So this is actually the first time they've came up.
Really?
So this will be their debut here. So we'll need to give them a good welcome, Glasgow. Make them feel welcome. So.
Get them arms flying!
But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing every single band, even AC Rid with their scat, madness, and trombones and stuff like that.
Because I couldn't believe it when I saw it earlier on, because they're so vastly different to everybody else.
Yeah.
You know, and
it was actually my mate Simon. I had asked another band, and they said thanks but no thanks. And my mate Simon Danks, he said to try AC Rid, saw them at Wildfire, and they absolutely nailed it. And they replied instantly. So fair play to Ritual Spirit as well. They said it's like an honour, you know, just brilliant.
See, I can't say enough nice things about the Ritual Spirit guys.
Yeah.
You know, they played for us. Was it this year? Or was it last year?
This year.
This year. They played Judgment Day this year. So I mean, it's always a good night when they play.
Yeah.
You know, you get to jump about, you get to dance. It's not too heavy. You know, you're not going to come away with a headache.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to the gig. You know,
appreciate it. Looking forward to seeing you.
And what can I say? Again, I hope it's something that's a regular feature in Glasgow every year. The annual Moshville Times WinterFest at Ivory Blacks.
Now that sounds very, very good to me, but I can guarantee I'm going to be interviewing you and asking you questions. Put you in the spot this time.
Sounds good to me.
It's been an absolute pleasure, and I appreciate it very much, mate. All right.
That's right. Bring it in, mate. Bring it in. Awesome.
Cheers.
I've been Esteban. This has been the legend Ricky from Moshville Times, and this has been the Doomsday Report. Keep it metal.
Cheers.